Hello, everyone. Welcome to Midtown Houston's Teach You Tuesday. I am Brittany Bly. I'm the founder of Podge America, and we're going to do a really fun craft lesson today. This is really fun for anybody, any age. It's family friendly, and it's perfect for fall. It's perfect for Halloween. We are going to make mini painted pumpkins with all of the supplies you see here. So let me just show you all of the supplies that are included in this kit. Enter at Midtown Houston for a chance to win one of these kits for free. They're also available from popshopamerica.com. You can also gather your own similar supplies to try out all these DIY tutorials with us. What we have here are 4 different adorable faux pumpkins. We've got a strip of acrylic paint in about 6 different colors. We have nail polish, a paintbrush, and we have 3 different types of confetti and really cool glitter. We have some fine glitter, some chunky glitter, and some really fat confetti. So we're going to make some modern, fresh, and cool pumpkins for fall and for Halloween. So let's start making. All right, so now that we've seen all of our craft supplies, let's pull everything out and let's get started. I love this tutorial because we can make it in so many different colors. We can actually make it in lots of different styles. So this is something that you can match to any home or office or any decor ideas that you already really like. So we're going to start, if you notice in your kit, you have a cool little plasticware container. I have my own right here that I'm going to work with, and we're going to start with marbled pumpkins. They're so beautiful. It's one of my favorite DIYs. So all we need is to fill that container with some warm water. We don't want it to be super hot, and we don't want it to be cold. Just anything that's kind of lukewarm or warm is going to be perfect. We need at least one of our faux pumpkins, and we need at least 1 color of nail polish. If you have some other nail polish lying around, and especially colors that match or look really great together, you can mix and match colors, and that'll make this DIY really special. All right, so the first thing that we want to do when we have our warm water and our nail polish ready is just open up that nail polish and just drizzle gently into the surface of the water. Just add a very tiny amount. Of course, you want your nail polish to be mixed really thoroughly and not be separated. You know how nail polish does that. And what it's going to do is it's going to create these beautiful color swirls at the top of the water. And that's why I was mentioning that if you use more than 1 color, it's really beautiful, and especially colors that match. Like I'm using this ombre right now, so I'm doing a surf blue and a turquoise, and now I'm adding this really cool kind of bluish gray color, something that's a little bit more cool tone, and it continues to change the surface. It blends, the nail polish blends a little bit with that water, and so now when we're ready, we just take our pumpkin, submerge it as far as we want it to go, pull it back out of the water, and now we've got this beautiful swirled color palette on the pumpkin. Now this is nail polish, so it's going to dry just like any nail polish would. So we actually want to have a spot to leave this upside down and let it dry completely before we decorate our home with it. So I'm just going to set this off to the side. And just for fun, let's make one more pumpkin. Let's add another color just so you can see how much this can change based on the colors that you choose. Once we make the second marbled pumpkin, we'll move on to our second technique where we're going to make really adorable confetti pumpkins. So now I just have a swirl of pink that I dropped on the surface of the water. And now this one, see how this actually brought a string of that nail polish up with it? Just tap it on the side of your plasticware container. And now you've got a really cool pumpkin kind of gourd-like structure in a different color palette, right? So you can make colors that match each other or colors that are totally different so that you can make your own scene anywhere in your home. And we just set those to the side so that they can dry. And now we're ready to work on our second technique. I love this one. This is going to be so cute. So I have another pumpkin right here. I have these adorable confetti pieces right here. I've got my acrylic paint, and we are going to make some confetti pumpkins. So this is really fun for anyone that likes bright colors, anyone that's interested in something that is a little bit more like a rainbow. We are going to have some polka dots right here. So we just open up this confetti. We have a lot of different colors here. All of the colors of this confetti actually match the paints that we're using here. So that's a fun way to do it, but you could also use any color paints that you like. And if you want a simple cheat to making these, you could just use white acrylic paint and that should be fine. So let's just open up these paint pots. Open, open, open all the paint pots. Great, and so we've got our paint ready to go. We've got our confetti ready to go. And last, we need a paintbrush for this. So we're gonna match the color of paint to the color of confetti that we're using. I'm gonna start with the lightest color. That way I don't have to clean my brush really thoroughly in between adding confetti pieces. So you are welcome to do the same. So basically all we need to do is we just have a tiny bit of paint on the brush tip. I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of paint to the confetti. I'm going to mix it nice and thoroughly. So the entire piece of confetti is pretty much covered. And then I'm just going to add it to the pumpkin. And see, I'm actually brushing my finger across the surface of the confetti so that the paint is nice and even, so that the color is nice and even. And then I'm going to use the paint that's on my brush along the edges of the confetti to make sure it holds in place really perfectly. So now we've got a cute little pink piece. Let's add a cute little blue piece. So again, I'm starting with my lighter colors. Then I'm adding my darker colors, and that's why I don't have to wash my brush in between adding these different pieces of confetti. It just makes it a little bit easier. But if you are not quite sure, what color you want to add where, or how you want the finished piece to look like, it's absolutely fine to just stop what you're doing, wash your brush, figure out your placement of all your different confetti pieces, and then start again. So here we've got a cute little blue piece, cute little pink piece. Once we have a few of the confetti pieces in place, we can actually make some smaller little confetti dots with our paintbrush itself. So now I just have a tiny bit of paint on the brush. I'm using the edge of the brush to make a little bit of a point so that it's not a flat tip. And now I'm just making little tiny polka dots. Just a couple of cute little polka dots anywhere you like them on the pumpkin. Now let's try one more. Let's use a little green. So now I've got a tiny bit of green paint, a little green confetti, and I'm just adding a tiny bit of that paint to hold it in place. Now I like using this paint because it's easy to work with and it's nice and colorful. But if you're making this at home, you could also use any kind of paper glue. I would not recommend Elmer's glue because that's going to make the paper, the confetti, wrinkle. But what you can use is something like rubber cement. You can even use a tiny touch of Mod Podge, and those are going to be a lot better at adhering the confetti, because it's not going to warp the paper and wrinkle the paper as you go. So we just keep adding confetti dots anywhere we like them. And we've got some cute rainbow pumpkins. Now that we've made our confetti pumpkin, we'll set it to the side. And let's make a glittery disco pumpkin. So we've got one last pumpkin out of the 4, 2 marbled pumpkins, 1 confetti pumpkin. This is a painted pumpkin. So I'm going to actually close some of these that I'm not going to be using. Anytime we close our paint in between use, that's a great way to keep it fresher longer. So I'm just going to go ahead and close those ones that I know that I'm not going to use. And then I'm going to, let's see, I want to use this blue color. And I'm actually just deciding what color I want to use on the spot. And now what I want to do is I want to make some really cool color blocked sections of this blue. And then I'm going to dip it in this glitter so that I can make it really fun and like a disco ball. And it's going to be a show-stopping, adorable pumpkin. So we just add that acrylic paint. 1 layer should be fine, but you can always let the acrylic paint dry and add a second layer if you want your color to be really rich and really dense. And for those of you working at home, you can use faux pumpkins or real pumpkins. Either way, you can even use big pumpkins. You can use orange pumpkins if you want to give them that white appearance without using white pumpkins. Just start with a layer of white acrylic paint before anything else. But to add the glitter, we want to make sure that our acrylic paint is nice and wet. So if you're doing more than 1 coat, make sure when you're doing the second coat that it's still nice and wet when you open up your glitter. And we just set that upside down so that we don't get any on the table. We take our glitter right here. And then there's a lot of different ways we could do this. We can sprinkle this. Which is very easy. And then I can just dust the table to make sure that I get all of the glitter to its final home or back into this bag. We could also completely dry our marbling container. And then once it's completely dry, we could actually use that to dip our pumpkin into the glitter, basically pour the glitter into the container and just dip it from there. And now take a look at this. This is so shimmery. Hopefully you guys can see how absolutely stunning and shimmery it is in the light. And if you look at the way that you would set this down on a table for your decor, it actually has a really cool color blocked shape as well. So very, very cute. And we just set that on something to dry. And once everything is dry, then we can show you all of our finished pumpkins. Great, so now we've finished all of these really cool painted pumpkins, lots of different techniques, lots of different styles. So we've got our disco pumpkins right here that are color blocked with lots of cool glitter added. We've got confetti pumpkins right here. And we've got these really cool marbled pumpkins. And if you want to win your own pumpkin painting kit, make sure to share this video from the Midtown Houston Facebook page for your chance to win. My name is Brittany Bly. Thank you so much for attending Teach You Tuesdays. We will see you next month.